Imagine a future where technology enables people to maintain their health, their independence, and their dignity well into later life. This is the vision of Shapes, a collaborative platform which aims to harness the power of community to inspire the creation of game-changing innovations that meet real needs.
I work half-time in a university and half-time in what we call the HSE, which is basically the NHS in Ireland. Through Shapes, smart and healthy aging, people engaging in supportive systems. Led by Maynooth University, working across 14 countries, and we're funded by the European Commission around 21 million. And we're also working with around 2,000 older people.
There are a lot of assumptions that people have about aging and about older people, and that beyond a certain age, usually retirement, that people lose their sense of purpose in life and a burden on society or a drain on resources.
If you assume that everyone over 65 is past it, what a vast array of human potential you're writing off.
I think we have a lot to learn from engaging with an aging population, not just in terms of their retrospective wisdom, but also in terms of how we should age ourselves.
We tend to think that old people have memories and histories. Old people have futures and ambitions. And unless we start from that understanding, then we're starting from the wrong place.
So we've been looking at not just care recipients, but also care providers, many of whom are in their 20s, 30s. So it's really about rethinking our relationship, not only to technology, but also to each other.
Our purpose is to improve the quality of assistive living technologies and hence lives of people who use them. And ultimately try and get over what we call the TRL level 5 trap. Especially in the UK, we're finding tons and tons of research where technology is very well designed with end users, with systems providers, but it can't get over the funding hurdles of TRL level 5. So we end up not seeing it funded in that middle gap to get the evidence required for venture capitalists or others being backed. I'm hoping that if we work a bit more together, we can do that.
Working collaboratively, Shapes enables potentially game-changing solutions to be tried and tested within an operational environment. Here we meet some of the 2023 Shapes Open Call Game Changers who were awarded grants to improve their technological readiness level and were subsequently invited to pitch to an investment panel chaired by NatWest Banking Group.
The aim of this solution is to monitor hydration levels in older people using artificial intelligence and biometric data.
The benefits of grant-funded collaborative projects, foremost to me, are that we are exposed to other like-minded individuals on a mission to make the world a better place. Every such interaction generates new ideas. It gives us hints how to do things better, more efficiently. Looking at our peers, it really pushes us a bit further. Also, gets us good exposure to the ultimate users of our product. So we're not in sort of an engineering bubble, but we actually have a live interaction with the people who are in the field, who actually have the need that we're trying to meet.
Our innovation is based on combining pressure sensor textiles with AI. Shapes means the opportunity to run pilots with hospitals and care homes and get real data from real patients in real daily life.
The data we capture will allow us to understand how people relate to daylight, to inform nursing home design and care in the community design. Many ways provide a level of care that hasn't been seen before.
Our innovation is about gathering data that informs health decisions so that people can just get the right amount of exercise every day. Am I at risk of developing a foot ulcer because of a pressure that our insole detects? This is the sort of insights that people can get from the insoles that we have developed.
What stood out from everybody that we saw there, and it usually comes down to two things, and the first one is clarity, being able to kind of convey the message really clearly, like what problem are you solving and exactly why is your solution better, and the second thing is opportunity, how exciting and big is the opportunity in what you're working in. I think the one that particularly stood out to me that kind of covered those areas was Skyjoy today. I really remember what they do, how they do it, and the kind of why the opportunity is really exciting.
It's about how the Shapes facilitates future innovation. It's not just about designing solutions. If we can inform the innovators, the product developers, about what the real challenges are, then I think it's a better environment, better marketplace for everybody.
So what we saw in Shapes is that innovation is thriving. So we have huge marketplace in Shapes of solutions that tested and piloted the different things.
I work a lot across health data stakeholders in healthcare, ICT, research, mostly at a European level, but to some extent globally. And my punchline conclusion to you is that interoperability of health data has now become a medical emergency. Why? Because individual diseases are increasingly complex to treat and require the collaboration of many different health professionals, sometimes in different locations, to give joined-up care to individuals. Because individuals don't anymore have one disease, but we're aging, as you might have noticed, and we're collecting diseases as we go, and therefore we have increasing complexity with multiple diseases. Even more collaboration is therefore needed, and increasingly individuals want to play an active role in their care, and the digital tools that enable them to do that are forthcoming, falling in price and increasing in usability and smartness. So interoperability is an emergency because people are suffering through ineffective and inefficient healthcare, and innovations are not reaching individuals because we don't harness the data properly. So my feeling is this has got to be tackled as a multi-stakeholder challenge. We can't ask any one stakeholder to take responsibility for breaking the logjam. We have got to join the dots, and we have to do it collectively across all stakeholder groups, preferably across countries, to grow the scale of the market incentives for developers and for investors.
As an outsider, as a finance guy and a technologist, what's the only solution that I can see for the healthcare system in this world, in this country and the world, is technology. How can you possibly match ever-increasing demand and less money? The only thing you can put in the middle of that equation is technology.
So Ian asked me to think about why we got involved in this. And from my point of view, there were lots of things technology could do, fascinating things. So the Shapes project was an opportunity to bring together the idea of what people need and what technology can do.
There are differences in culture. There are differences in geography. I mean, we are sitting in a developed country. The solutions that we develop here, or the requirements that we come up with here, are those requirements the same as for those in villages in Kenya, for example, where I come from?
For me, I think that the Shapes project is really, really powerful. And the conversations we're having today here have the potential of really making a fundamental shift in the way we approach health and well-being of our communities. It is extremely collaborative, integrated. It looks at sort of the physical, social, and mental well-being, which is key to the WHO's Constitution for Health. It was never just physical. It was about mental and social well-being along that life course. And there is underpinning the work in Shapes is this solidarity between perceived opposites, like an older generation and a younger generation. And this sort of approach, they maximize our potential as a society.
Here, of course, we're thrilled to be part of the initiative to develop the standard on really what does good aging process look like and what can older people expect, not just in the UK, not just in Europe, but globally with ISO. And that work will continue, led by AAA, not long after the project.
Shapes offers a vision of a future where age is not a barrier, but a gateway to new horizons. It's about creating a world where every individual, regardless of their age, can lead a fulfilling and independent life.
And what we want to be able to do is to design neighbourhoods and homes that allow people of all ages and all abilities to live together.
The main goal after the Shapes project is to ensure its sustainability, so making sure that the project can impact different stakeholder groups, different generations, and diverse groups in society.
And then in terms of universal design and accessibility, of course, the UN Convention on the Rights of People with Disability should be a cornerstone of all this work. So any sort of ISO standard has to be rights-based and hinging off many of the articles that will allow this work to develop real momentum internationally. And I would see three things, just in conclusion, as being crucial. One is this idea of a standard of living. Another one is the notion of establishing sustainable processes that are not dependent actually on what's happening right now and where the technology is right now, but are much more sort of forward thinking. And then this idea of market shaping. There has to be a market that is incentivizing for innovation and for business, and a market that is socially responsible at the same time. And these two things are very possible if they're approached on a macro level.
Join us in shaping a future where technology isn't just about gadgets and algorithms, but about people, dignity, and a better tomorrow for everyone.